Howdy, y'all. This is going to be your tutorial on how to play the game Oregon Trail. When you look at some of the options that are there and available for you, the first two are really the two that you want to look at. And then what we'll do is we'll talk about learning about the trail because I think that's the one that's going to be the most useful to you as you start the game. When you look at learning about the trail, it's going to give you an idea of what you're going to run into. So I highly recommend that you take a minute and you read through that information because there's going to be some stuff that'll help you strategize for the game. Now that you've learned a little bit about what you're going to see on the game, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to start the actual game. You're going to have a few choices to make. The first being, what type of person are you? Some have different options, so you're going to want to make sure you read up on what those options are and what the differences are between those options. Then what you get to do is you get to name all the people in your family. You're going to notice I named one of my people Dog, so if they die, it won't be as bad as losing a child. You'll notice then you got to determine when are you going to leave. You should ask for advice on that one. It's a really good idea. Anytime you get the option to ask for advice, do it. You will then be prompted to use the money you have available to buy some crucial supplies for you along the route for when you're going. So you're going to meet Mr. Matt. And he's going to give you some options here of things that you're going to want to buy along the way. Now, as you're going and you continue on the trail, what you're going to want to do is keep an eye on a few things like your health, the weather, your food situation, and your pace. Those are going to be things that are definitely things you want to keep an eye on. Now, you'll be able to take a look and stop at some of the places. They're just kind of fun little things to look at. And then it's going to give you some choices as you approach different things. So you're going to have different options. Again, asking for advice and talking to people is a really, really good option. You're also going to want to do things like be able to check your supplies to see where you're at with things, and you'll have an option to do that, along with taking a look at things like your map to see where you are and where you've been. One of the most important things is to keep an eye on your pace as well as your food and how much food you're going through. A couple of other options, you'll be able to trade with other travelers. You'll also be able to get some advice from other travelers, which I highly recommend. One of the coolest options that you have is your ability to hunt wildlife pretty much at any point along the way. But again, take the advice of people, make sure you have enough ammunition, and do your best to see what you can do to get some wild game to help keep your family fed. Now, these are just some of the basics that'll get you going through the game, but you're going to be faced with a lot of different scenarios, so think about it. Use your prior knowledge and do your best to get as far as you possibly can in this game because it's a lot of fun and you can continue to keep playing. So have some fun with it, play around, and stay safe out there, kiddos.